Hi learners, welcome back to this channel once again. Now in the upcoming sessions, we are going to learn what Power Query is in Excel and how to connect to various data sources, how to perform essential transformations, and many more things. So let's see. What is Power Query? Power Query is a data connectivity and data preparation technology developed by Microsoft. It is integrated into various tools, Microsoft products like Excel, Power BI, analysis services, and Dataverse. You can think of Power Query as a personal data assistant that helps you to connect, clean, and transform data automatically and dynamically for data cleaning and automation. So that you stop wasting your hours cleaning messy data, fixing columns, removing blanks, repeating the same tedious steps over and over again and again manually. This, this tool can automate 90% of all your manual work that is repetitive and tedious, which is almost all of your data cleaning work. Now, how are we going to go about it? First of all, we are going to do some web scraping. That is, we are going to pull some live data from website and clean it up. Secondly, we are going to connect to a local dataset file, and all of this without a single line of code. Let's first start with our web scraping example. Now let's go to web and select this website link, Power Query Editor. That is, to get to Power Query Editor, first of all, we'll have to navigate towards Data tab in our ribbon area and then Get Data and from other sources and from web. Also, we have direct option here that is from web. So you can use anyone as you prefer. You can use from here itself. This might take a while, and here you can just insert your URL and choose basic as an option and click OK. For starters, this Olympics table is not a dynamic table, as in the results are already finalized and we cannot call it a dynamic table as such. But using this as an example and connecting it to a web page and doing our web scraping, we can learn how to connect to a live data and create a dynamic table as such. So for now, just think of this Olympics table as a dummy table to learn how to connect to such dynamic tables and get live data. So the key thing here is that we are learning how to connect to a web page and how to extract data from available tables on that web page and then how to transform it in our Power Query. So here the navigator window has opened. So here our navigator window has opened and let's go to our table, select our table that is 2020 Summer Olympics medal table. And before we load and transform our data, let's just quickly scan through the table here. As you can see, this is our headers, rank, NOC, gold, silver, bronze, total, and these are countries. So you can see some null values because all these countries are sharing the same rank. And here you can see directly from 77th rank to 83rd rank. Likewise, all the above. And here, Japan has asterisks as this was the hosting nation in 2020. I guess there are no other. So let's see. Now we'll just go ahead with transform data and enter our Power Query editor. So now that this data has been loaded to our Power Query editor, we can first do a simple quick check if our headers are right. So here, as you can see, since we already have our first row as headers by default, this is already sorted for us. Otherwise, you have to select and then go to Home tab in the ribbon area and use first row as headers option and click here. But we are not going to do that for now since this is already sorted for us. Let's see, are there any settings here? All right, so let's just quickly understand this interface. So at the top you have the ribbon area, and below here there are three main areas. One is queries, the middle section is data preview, and on your right is query settings with properties, that is table name, and let's click on all properties. So you have the name, description, etc., and then all the applied steps. So far, as you can see, all the steps that we have done so far is already recorded here. The source is recorded, the extracted table from HTML is recorded, the promoted headers is recorded, and the change type. Now let's just first fix this Japan name here, and then by clicking on this drop down, and then simply you can also do replace with, let's see, by clicking here and replace values, ship and with this entire column if it's a consistent thing, and just go and replace values and click OK. So here you can see this is clean for now, and we can also change the column, the header name for this column, and make it countries. It's a country. Now let's just fix these null values, and by selecting this column and to transform, fill data is above, here, fill as up, right? Filled up, no, we don't want it filled up. Let's just do fill down, yeah. Also here, 94th row, we have some 93 entries. This row does not make any sense for us in this table. So because this is more of a summary row and we do not need it in this table, so we are going to delete it. We can either delete it or remove it for now by deselecting this row. Here, now you have cleaned your data. Now let's do some transformation. These ready, and data type is whole number. So that's what we need for our further calculations. Otherwise, you can make necessary changes. At the top of each column is basically a column quality indicator. What does that mean? So, green color indicates valid values, and the red color indicates error values, and dark gray indicates null values. Here, since we have already cleaned our data, uh, it's indicating all green, and that's a good sign for us.
Let's
Also,
go
it's
to
shown in the numbers itself here. It's displayed here in numbers itself. For selecting the entire, like all these columns at once, you can press Shift and Total. Go to Total and select, or Shift right arrow towards the end, and then keep on selecting the columns. Oh, yes. For now, you want gold as percentage of total. So we are going to press Control, Gold, and Total, and go to Add Column, choose Standard drop down, and let's try percent off. You can also do divide. Let's see. That's going to generate the same result here. Yes, so this is already in percentage form. So your choice. Up to you how you want to visualize these numbers. All right. Now For all the now say this table has been updated, 2020 Summer Olympics table has been updated on the web page. In that case, you don't have to repeat these steps all over again. You can simply load the data from web and and all the implemented changes and transformations will be reflected in your new loaded data. So you don't have to do all these manual tasks again and again. That's number one. So here we learned how to replace values, how to rename columns, how to remove null values from columns, and just by refreshing the data, you can replicate all those steps instantly. That's about it as far as web scraping is concerned. And let's just minimize the Power Query for now. Okay, let's just close. Here you can see this has been loaded into your spreadsheet, all clean and transformed. Now, this way you can connect to a more live data set and get up-to-date information. Now, you could have also applied this format back in the Power Query editor. So here's the percentage and